Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First to some developing news, and a man has drowned on the state's west coast after being found unconscious by his diving partner. For more now, we're joined by our reporter Garth Burley. Good evening, Garth. What do we know so far?
Well, Joe, we only know a few details at this stage, but this afternoon police have confirmed a man from Circular Head has died after diving at Sandy Cape on a remote part of the state's west coast. Now, the 58-year-old was found unresponsive in the water by his diving partner at 11 this morning, and despite urgent efforts to revive him, was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. Now, it's unclear how the death occurred. However, a report will be prepared for the coroner. So, Joe, certainly a tragedy only 1 week out from Christmas.
A Bridport man has been dealt a devastating blow after fire ripped through his property. The blaze took hold just after 4 this morning, giving crews little chance to save the building.
With the Bridport house reduced to ruins, volunteers who gave everything had only sympathy left to give.
I feel for him. He's a mate of mine, and it's just not nice. He had a lot of sentimental stuff in there that he's lost. And that's the biggest thing that's hitting him at the moment, I think, stuff that he's never going to get back.
Kind-hearted neighbours crossed the lawn with hugs as investigators searched through the ashes for answers. The blaze took hold around 4:20 a.m. The alarm was raised by another brigade volunteer across the road, but it was still too late. With Christmas just 1 week away, it's hoped the community will pitch in and help the devastated owner. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to look after him for sure, and plenty of people have already dropped in today, this morning, and offered their support. It's believed the cause was accidental. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
With temperatures across Tasmania set to soar into the mid-30s on Friday, a total fire ban is on the way. But as crews work to control already burning blazes, they've been left disappointed after more fires were deliberately lit last night.
With an early start to our fire season and blazes already burning in the landscape, crews are preparing for worsening conditions on the way.
The conditions that we have around the southern region, particularly on the east coast, are very dry. We have very low rainfall that we've had, and not much moisture in our fine fuels and also in the ground and in the landscape.
Temperatures pushing into the mid-30s on Friday. Authorities declaring a total fire ban for 24 hours, starting from 2 a.m. on Friday in all southern municipalities, including for incinerators, burn-offs, campfires and woodfield barbecues.
The wind's only going to be around 30 to 40 kilometres, which is still significant and strong enough to cause a fire to be very hard to control should it get started and into unburnt vegetation.
The fire warnings come as police say they've caught youth starting scrub fires. 3 reported on Sattler Street at Gagebrook around 7 o'clock last night. Investigators say they've now charged 2 youth and a third identified.
It's absolutely disappointing behaviour. We're able to maintain control of those fires, and with the assistance of the police as well as the public, those 2 people were apprehended.
Meanwhile, police have charged 2 people after 2 chainsaws and 100 litres of petrol were allegedly stolen from firefighting vehicles at a Swansea blaze on the weekend. Police are still searching for the 2 steel chainsaws. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
A cyclist has been taken to hospital with head injuries after allegedly colliding with a car in the state's north. Police believe the driver of the vehicle slammed into the female rider around 9 this morning after losing sight of the bike on a roundabout in Lagana. While investigations into the crash continue, the rider's injuries aren't believed to be serious. A report into last year's fruit fly outbreak in Tasmania has recommended a number of improvements. It was released just as the state government launched a new multi-million-dollar advertising campaign asking tourists to help protect Tasmania's unique ecosystem. While the response to the outbreak was declared a success, changes to education, communication and stakeholder engagement strategies have been proposed.
We need to continuously improve our measures. 6 recommendations have been made around some of those areas, and absolutely we will be implementing all 6 recommendations.
The report estimates the fruit industry is worth $197 million to the state's economy. A Tasmanian shark attack survivor has spoken out about the critical importance of donating blood, a service which 1 year ago saved her life. Justine Barwick is today urging people to get behind the cause this festive season, with blood stocks expected to run low.
1 year ago, it was a blood donation centre just like this that went on to save Justine Barwick's life.
I was bitten by a shark in September of last year, and my life was saved in no small part by the blood donations that I received.
She was on a family holiday in the Whitsundays, swimming when tragedy struck, a shark latching on to her leg. Rushed to hospital, her life hanging in the balance.
It was an incredibly traumatic experience. In the accident, my femoral artery was severed, so that's an extremely serious injury, and it was a very dangerous time for me.
As her long recovery continues, she's now urging others to donate blood, especially over Christmas. In Tasmania, 900 donations are needed between Boxing Day and the New Year to meet demand as blood stocks run low.
For over 20 years, I've been a blood donor.
Did you ever think it'd be you on the receiving end?
Definitely not. Absolutely not. I never thought that. But when you need it, it is an amazing gift to receive.
We do have a particular need at this time of year, particularly for platelets, which are often used in the treatment of trauma incidents, etc., because they only last for 5 days.
Centres across the state will be open most days this festive season for donations, offering a life-saving opportunity for Tasmanians just like Justine.
It is a second chance at life, and I'm incredibly lucky.
Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Federal opposition leader Anthony Albanese has made his first visit to Hobart since becoming opposition leader. He used the visit to criticise what he says is a lack of action in upgrading the Hobart Airport interchange. $30 million was promised for an upgrade back in 2017, but Mr Albanese says nearly 3 years on, work has yet to begin.
They haven't dug a hole in the ground. We know there's a cost blowout of $20 million additional funding will be required, and still nothing happens.
The state government says tenders have been finalised and work will begin early next year. A 56-year-old man convicted of assaulting his terminally ill partner has had his jail sentence extended by 3 months. The Supreme Court today heard Lee John Parker was acting as the woman's carer when he hit her over the head with a teapot and pushed her over in a drunken rage in 2017. The incident damaged her wounds from major surgery due to ovarian cancer. Parker has now been sentenced to 4 years and 6 months prison with a non-parole period of more than 2 years. Health advocates are pleading with people to take precautions in the sun this summer in a bid to lower Tasmania's rising melanoma rates. They say early detection is key and something as simple as a skin check can be life-saving.
After John Redden found what he thought to be a cyst on the back of his neck, his heart dropped when the doctor advised him it was far more serious.
It turned out to be stage 4 metastatic melanoma, which went right through my body.
Twice in his 7-year cancer battle, and as recently as last year, he's been told he only has 6 months to live.
I had poison in the liver and all sorts of things. It was horrific.
He's not alone. The latest figures show almost 450 new melanoma cases in northeast Tasmania from 2013 to 2017.
We know it's the most common cancer in 15 to 39-year-olds. However, we also know the older you get, your skin doesn't repair itself as well.
Health advocates today joining forces in Launceston to warn people about the dangers of UV exposure, even in colder climates.
The UV index today in Tasmania is over 11. It's extreme, despite the fact we have cloud cover.
They say applying sunscreen and wearing protective clothing and hats are the best ways to shield yourself from the elements. They're also urging people to get a skin check every year.
90% of melanomas, if they're caught early, can be treated by surgery.
Skin cancer experts are now focusing on getting a local support group off the ground for people in the lifelong battle.
I'm still hanging in there and I'm still living.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Target Tasmania drivers will need to put more fuel in the tank when the competition returns. Organisers have revealed next year's race will be the longest ever, spanning 626 kilometres. New stages will include Golden Valley and Poatina. However, Georgetown will now miss out. The rally runs from April 27 to May 2nd. A state Labor MP is facing social media scorn with an image shared of her car partially blocking the entrance to the Sorell ambulance station. Labor says the incident occurred last night while Jen Butler was attending a busy school event. She's since apologised.
Jen is very apologetic for that occurring. Of course, I never wanted to impede the access of any emergency service vehicles. It was a minor parking error and it won't happen again.
The blocked entrance was one of two into the ambulance station. A truck rolled over onto its roof along the southern outlet this morning. The vehicle remained upside down on the side of the highway at Mount Nelson towards Kingston, forcing traffic to slow right down as crews took around an hour to clear the scene. No serious injuries were reported. When a Victorian nurse decided to study dementia in Tasmania, little did she know her subject would become her life. This evening, Amanda Crombie is proudly graduating, ready to use her knowledge and skills in her work and for a loved one.
Donning the final touches to bid study farewell.
My graduation day today for the Bachelor of Dementia Care. I'm pretty happy, pretty happy. I mean, there's a lot of people along with me today who are probably equally as proud.
This registered nurse began her 5-year dementia degree in 2015. However, her second year saw a twist of fate. Amanda's partner of nearly 40 years, diagnosed with the very condition she was studying.
I did actually at one point think that I might be just imagining it, and because I'm studying it, I was just sort of, thinking it was happening, but I could see eventually that it was happening, so it wasn't a shock to me.
But the UTAS course has already proved useful as she applies her gained knowledge to aid her loved one's degenerative condition.
People often have difficulty expressing themselves, so you have to be very responsive, and you have to be very careful about how you communicate with people with dementia.
The graduate, one of around 1,000 students who have completed the degree since it started in 2012. But more people are encouraged to enrol as the ageing population continues to grow.
We're all encountering people living with dementia more and more, and for those individuals to know that people are aware of their needs and can respond appropriately helps us all live better in the world.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
Jetstar has cancelled dozens of flights ahead of more strike action. The airline confirmed it's cancelled 28 flights across Australia tomorrow. Only 2 Tasmanian flights are set to be affected, a morning return service between Brisbane and Hobart. Interstate baggage handlers and ground crew will hold a 2-hour stoppage in the morning and 2 1-hour stoppages in the evening. The action is in response to failed attempts to resolve a wage dispute.
The $100,000 Conquering Stakes will run in an hour's time at Mowbray. Middle distance galloper Speed Force is an intriguing entrant. The 7-year-old gelding has placed 16 times from 23 starts at the track, and Longford trainer Bill Ryan believes he's getting better with age.
Well, it is, he's been a slow maturing horse. His first season race, and I thought he was a dud. He just couldn't get out of his own way, and he's just kept on improving each year.
I'm Wesley is going for his 3rd Conquering Stakes win in a row and starts as favourite tonight, paying $3.30 to win. The race is scheduled for 7:40. Tasmania's Christmas carnivals have received a major cash splash. $10,000 in extra prize money is being offered to the top placing cyclists in a revamped schedule.
With the traditional criterium scrapped, riders will fight for their share of $10,000 in extra prize money in 2 separate series. The cash bonus will be split between the top-ranked men and women in the scratch and sprint events.
The research that we did said that the criteriums weren't necessary. We put that money into the sprint races and our cycling numbers are up significantly.
The prize pool will be the same for men and women, following a precedent set by the Burnie Carnival, which is offering pay parity in its gift and wheel events for the first time. The changes are having an impact, with the number of female riders jumping from 21 last year to 37 this year. The number of male cyclists is also up by roughly 30%. Among the international contingent are those in training for the Tokyo Olympics.
We've got 7 Japanese riders coming out for this series, and then when you include the running, we've got Gambia, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia.
The carnivals begin in Rosebery this Saturday.
Good evening. King Island found some of the heat from further north today, hitting our top of 31 degrees. Hobart 23, Launceston 25, Burnie 20 and Devonport 19. Hot over the mainland though today. Birdsville reached 47.7 degrees by 3 p.m. It was so hot in some places up there the cows were giving evaporated milk. Apart from a patch of early drizzle and a quick thunderstorm over the northwest of Tasmania, it was fine and cloudy over our regions. Ouse 30, Grove 29, Strawn 28 today, Lyowini and Flinders Island 25, St Helens 21 and Friendly Beaches 20. Areas of mid to high cloud moved over the state today. Some low cloud drifted over the east. More of that cloud over the Tasman Sea and the Bight, with thunderstorms evident over northeast WA and the Territory. A low-level cloud band moves up the tropical Queensland coast. Tomorrow a high sits just off our west coast. A high to the east extends a ridge over southern Queensland and a cold front as well to the west. West to southwest winds at 10 to 20 knots, but up to 25 and even 30 knots off the southeast. Swells to 3 metres in western waters. And in that lower east and southeast we have a strong wind warning there from Wineglass Bay to southeast Cape. Hobart, a top of 23. Tomorrow a partly cloudy day. Cygnet partly cloudy and 21 degrees, 24 the high for New Norfolk. For Launceston, hot, partly cloudy, 30 the maximum, 28 for Devonport, Campbelltown partly cloudy and 28 degrees. Burnie partly cloudy and 27, Strawn 17 degrees and Smithton 23 with a bit of cloud cover. St Helens partly cloudy and 21, 23 for Swansea, Fingal fine as well, 29 degrees. There's the UV, 11 everywhere, and that's extreme. On Friday, temperatures into the low 30s over the southern half, with fine mostly sunny weather across the state. A few showers over the west, far south, and maybe a morning drop over the east on Saturday. And on Sunday, fine, sunny over the north and partly cloudy for the south. A possible shower for Perth tomorrow. Hot and sunny in Adelaide, some cloud cover for Melbourne, warming up over New South Wales, cloudy and 30 in Brisbane. Cloudy in Hobart, 21 at the moment, 24 in Launceston, Devonport 19 degrees, very hot on the mainland, Joan, so hot, dogs were chasing cats, but they're all walking.
I have to think about that. Thanks, Murph, I think. That's all from the team for now. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.